All right, today we're going to talk about taking the shot. Now, where do you take the shot and what does that actually mean? Does it mean risk? Does it mean doing something that you could fail? Yes, absolutely. And that's all part of it. That's part of life, both personally and professionally. Again, in basketball, we have to take several shots. And a Hall of Fame player, a good player, one of the best in the world, misses half of his or her shots. That's just a normal percentage. And not to beat the sports cliche to death, but a baseball player will fail 7 out of 10 times and has a good chance of making the Hall of Fame. If you are in a relationship, marriage, committed relationship, or whatever, I guarantee the first time you asked or you went out on a date, it wasn't always successful. Now I know for myself that I dated several women because I needed a lot of practice. And thank God, found my wife, and we're coming up on 25 years of marriage. But that wasn't always easy. Now let's look at the business side. When I was a commodity trader, it wasn't always easy. Your good percentages there would be to scratch or come out even 70% of the time, or I should say 60% of the time, win 30% of the time, and maybe lose 10% of the time. And that would give you a net of about a 20% average. And if you could do that and do that in volume, you could have a very good career. And then when I got out of that and got into sales, now we have what's called the 10, 3, and 1. You hope to get 10 appointments to actually sit down with 3, and then 1 becomes a client. That's where the 10, the 3, and the 1 come from. Now in your business, numbers matter, and taking a shot matters. And you might be in just a service business, but again, taking the shot's going to matter because you are going to have to do some things when that customer calls up, the company calls up, and all hell is breaking loose. And you're going to have to make a call. You're going to make a choice, especially if you don't have a superior there or a manager. You're going to have to do something. And if you are the leader, you're the CEO of the company, by golly, you're going to have to take a chance. And if you have any type of success, you know what I'm talking about, because you have to take a shot at least every week, maybe every day, maybe every hour. I don't know what it is. Everybody's different. But here's the reason for that, and this is why you do it and the benefit. The more that you learn to take a shot, the more you build right there. You build that muscle. That's the actual muscle right there, but metaphorically you build up here, the brain muscle. Because you need to keep active on this, because that's the way of the world. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. In our society, in our culture, in our news, leaders in this country, whether they're political, whether they're business, whether they're sports, we build them up, and I shouldn't say we, I'm not including myself in that crowd, but the entities build them up just to break them down. And they'll micro criticize them. But here's the thing, you, like me, have to become better at taking that shot, and like last week, becoming resilient to that, because it's a person that takes the shot is the only one that's going to make the basket. So today, think about where you are taking the shots. And like I usually say, there's always an opposite. Where you're taking the shots, and on the other side, where you're not taking the shots, where if you did take the shots, combined together, you're going to win the game. You're going to have a better chance. So he or she who takes the shots wins the game over time. So take that shot. Tom Heitz, I'll see you next week. Any comments? Please go to the blog where you link this from. Make a comment, and I look forward to serving you. All right, have a wonderful day, and keep out there and keep practicing. Tom Heitz, your player coach. We'll see you next week.